Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of well, my my duels in the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game, specifically Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. Now, before I begin, in case you have been living, in case so the majority of you have been living under a rock, which, I mean that in the best way possible. I'd like to point out something in the intellectual property notices with this game here. Now, it's been recently announced in the Gamerverse, that a company known as Unity, seen here, actually made a recent announcement on the 12th, outlining that starting January 1st, 2024, that they're going to start charging developers of software or games that use their engine, Unity, to the tune of about 20 cents per download after, what was it? After $200,000 and or 200,000 initial downloads, not re-up, not re-downloads, etc., etc. And suffice to say, even though Unity has tried to backpedal and clarify, they're still in a lot of hot water for this. Now, I've heard of a lot of things surrounding this debacle, if you will. I mean, one of the things that I believe Unity themselves have tried to point out is that this 20-cent per download charge to developers, for every time the game is downloaded, they say that only about they say that 90% of the developers who use their software, Unity, about a little 90% or over 90% aren't going to be impacted by this. But the thing is that no self-respecting game programmer, who uses Unity or who goes into game making, does it unless they want to be successful. So it sounds to me like Unity. Look, I'm not an expert on any of this. I don't know the legal jargon or what have you, but it is of my opinion that it sounds to me like Unity is crying over sour grapes, right? The way I see it, don't get me wrong. If Unity, I'm sure as far as like free version of their software, I guess there's different developer tiers that Unity imposes. Like there's like a basic free version, like some other version, and then a pro version, right? So, I don't understand how the different versions of Unity's software tools work. Maybe somebody more in the know could probably comment down below, but it sounds to me like Unity wants to charge people or charge developers who've used the free version of their software to somehow turn a profit. A substantial profit. The way I see it, this sounds to me like they're trying to cry over sour grapes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Unity isn't worth the money. I'm not saying that Unity. I'm not dictating whether Unity does or does not deserve the money. It's easy to look at what I can only assume to be $1 billion corporation to say that, they're just being greedy, I don't know. For all I know, maybe Unity is hemorrhaging money. That's not my fault as the consumer. That's not the game developers' fault as, well, game developers. It's not my fault. It's not the developers' fault or the developer's fault if Unity is hemorrhaging money, right? If they can't save money or if they're spending it frivolously or... there has to be a motivation behind this 20-cent deal, right? Now, it is entirely... Now, actually, hold on. Let me just get into the game and talk while I play, lest this is going to be boring. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had some other, how should we say, adult-oriented games on my system, and I didn't want to give any credence to it. Some of which, yeah, also made in Unity. Go figure. So, the thing is, the way I see it, it's like crying. I think they're just crying over sour grapes, honestly. I mean, it'd be like if I owned a mine shaft, right? And let's say I don't turn a profit. If anything, let's say I'm hemorrhaging money just trying to get something out of this gold mine, you know? The people I'm hiring aren't finding anything. I'm not finding anything, you know? And let's just say, for the record, that not only am I not finding anything, that I'm just, you know, fed up with trying to get things to work, right? I'm just done at this point, right? So what do? Well, let's say I find Unity, or anybody for that matter, I mean, you know, let's just say I gave them the deed to the mine shaft, right? You know, to do with whatever they see fit, you know? And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I give it to them for free, because, well, it's just costing me too much money to own or manage, right? Now, let's say... Oops. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Unity, or whoever I give the mine shaft to, wants to, you know, not only is finding success with it, but also has been very successful in turning a profit. You know, maybe it's not gold they find. Maybe they find dinosaur bones, or gemstones, or you know, maybe a lost treasure or something, or hell, they could even find black gold, oil, Texas tea, you know? I don't know. You come up with something. Point is, if I catch wind of that, I would have no right to go to them with my hand out and say, where's my cut? You know? Because, you know, the way I see it, if I gave someone something for free and they turn a profit on it, that's on me, you know? That's just poor foresight on my part, you know? If anything, in this instance, I probably should have sold them the mine shaft. Hell, even if I sold it to them on pennies on the dollar, right, in this example, you know, I still would not be able to come up to them, you know, crying over sour grapes, feeling like I got, well, shafted. Har har. You know, I wouldn't be able to come to them with my hand out and say, hey, where's my money? What money? Or, here's another example. Let's say I fixed cars for a living, right? I mean, I don't, but let's just say I did, right? And the tools I use, power tools, hand tools, whatever, happen to be, you know, let's just say I have a particular brand of tools that I prefer to use, right? You know, I take good care of them, I use them to the best of my abilities, and yeah, you know, sometimes some of the tools break, rust, get lost, stolen, you know. I mean, anyone who's ever owned tools knows what I'm talking about, right? Or has used them. Anyway, let's just say then that the maker of these tools comes into my shop and tries to strong-arm me and say, okay, Mr. Zen, we noticed you've been fixing up cars using our tools. We'd like you to give us $100 for every successful auto repair. I mean, first of all, that's extortion. You know? I mean, okay, sure. I mean, I wouldn't deny that the tools are useful, right? I'm not saying that I didn't get any use out of them, but, I mean, it's extortion. For one thing, I'm already paying... I mean, I might not be paying the makers of the tool directly, right? I mean, I might buy the tools from, I don't know, an auto parts store, or some other, or maybe a hardware store. You know, point is, I might not be paying the makers of the tools directly, but I'm still paying somebody for the tools, right? You know, it's not like the makers of the tool, the people who made the tools, are going to be out any money, because you know, you use tools often. You know, yeah, they do break down over time. They do wear thin or rust if you leave them out in the rain, for example. But the creator of the tools would not be able to come up to me, should not be able to come up to me as an auto part repairman to say, or an automobile repairman to say, we'd like $100 for every successful repair job. I mean, that's extortion. And the way I see it, this is kind of like the same thing that Unity is trying to pull with this 20-cent thing. Now, they go on to say that, you know, I mean, I think I've already mentioned this earlier, that, 90% of the people that, this won't impact over 90% of the people, you know, after January 1st, 2024. I mean, that's when they propose that they want to start this deal, right? Well, okay, so you say 90% aren't going to be impacted, right? Okay, then give us a short list of the 10% who are going to be impacted. I mean, can you name names? I guarantee you they're not going to name names, because chances are the people who they have in mind probably also are vehemently against this. Whether they're a AAA developer or an indie developer, I don't think anybody's in support of this. And, you know, but like I said, you know, there's two sides to every story. You know, I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to look at this and think Unity to be greedy, right? And, you know, yeah, it does sound pretty scummy. I mean, for one thing, 20 cents for every download. Okay, well, that's all. I mean, if there was a finite number of downloads, that's one thing, but we're talking about downloads here. There is no finite number here. You know, you can as long as it's available online to download, people can download it as many times as they desire. You know, they can, and that's another issue that's been brought up with this whole thing, right? They want to make the argument that, you know, some developers are looking at this and thinking, okay, well, you want to charge 20 cents for every download past a certain threshold. Okay, how are you going to monitor this? How can you track this? You know? And if you can track this, is it legal to track this? Because, again, you know, it kind of gets into the territory of, you know, what data Unity is and is not entitled to, right? Now, some developers are looking at this and saying to themselves, oh, we can't, you know, I mean, some developers are already threatening to pull the plug on their game after January 1st, right? And, I mean, I sure as hell hope not, because, you know, a lot of the games there's a lot of games I like to play. I mean, okay, sure, playing them on the Switch here may not be the best of results sometimes. I mean, the Switch isn't too powerful compared to other systems, but it is decent for what it is, right? I mean, depending on what system you play it on, you know, no matter who develops it, it could still be trash, but that's aside the point, right? I mean, I know this is going to sound scummy, and, you know, people listening in the comments, feel free to, you know, share with me your thoughts on this, you know, lest I feel like I'm talking to myself here. But the way I see it, instead of charging 20 cents, you know, after a certain threshold, starting in 2024, I assume for any game that comes out in 2024, I don't know. Instead of charging 20 cents per download, I would suggest that Unity double checks the user end license agreement for whatever their free or plus tier is, right? Whichever tier of their software is free for developers to use, right? Double check the user end license agreement to see if whether or not Unity can just pull the plug or render useless the free version of the software. Now, before anybody ats me, before somebody yells at me vehemently, I'm just trying to come up with a solution that isn't completely scummy. I mean, don't get me wrong, Unity is still going to look like trash for this, right? No matter what Unity does now, and as some other developers have pointed out, is that even if Unity were to completely nix this idea that they have brewing, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they still said things that they can't take back, right? So I'm not saying that Unity isn't still going to be in hot water, but I guess the difference here is that, you know, at least, I mean, I guess the difference is that if you were Unity, do you want to be perceived as a pile of shit, or do you want to be perceived as a pile of trash? Now, if it were me, if I were Unity, I'd rather pick the trash option. If I had to make a hardline choice between just those two, I'd rather be seen as a pile of trash. You know, if I were Unity, what I would do is double check the user and license agreement on the free service, or the free version of our service that we're providing to developers, and maybe make an announcement saying that times are tough, and, you know, in order for us to continue to provide service to our developers, of which there are many, I'm afraid to say it, but we have to pull the plug on the free service. Now, if you want to continue to use our services, you know, I hate to ask this, but if you want to continue to use our development tools, our services, consider upgrading to a premium plan. See, at least that way it's a like a monthly or annual fee, right? And it wouldn't, and I don't know what it's based on. I mean, like I said, I don't know what their tier list is as far as developers. I mean, developer tools will go. I mean, I'm not a developer myself. I'm not in the know. But I'm just saying, it's better that than the 20 cents issue that they're trying to do. Because, see, I've done the math, right? You know, see, it's not just, I mean, let's take a developer, right? Let's say they sell a million, like 1,200,000 copies of a game next year, okay? In downloads. Okay, 200,000. Okay, omitting the first 200,000, you have a million. So 20 cents per one download times a million downloads. That's $200,000 that you have to pay. That you would have to pay Unity, right? Yeah, I mean, I assume they probably would charge like monthly or annually or something. I don't know. Whatever keeps it simple, right? Okay. Now, let's say, that's just for one game, but let's say you're a developer who has multiple games that use Unity that come out in the same year. Okay, well, multiply the 200,000 by, I don't know, 3 games. So that's $600,000 that you owe Unity. Okay, so that's $600,000 for your 3 games. But now let's multiply it by, you know, X number of other developers with at least one game between them. Then that number skyrockets even further. So now you have a maker of a game engine that a lot of developers use just suddenly have arbitrarily made millions of dollars. And all they do in this is make a tool that the developers use. They would be effectively making money off the labor. I mean, again, it's like if I used a certain tools necessary to fix automobiles, right? You know, it makes sense for me to pay money, you know, to buy extra tools or newer tools to do what I do best, but it doesn't make a lick of sense to pay a success tax on, you know, the people I'm able to help with those tools. See, when you put it into that context, none of this makes sense. In fact, I would have to agree with a lot of developers that Unity's in a lot of trouble. Now, okay, sure, I'll bite. Maybe Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of in a tissy fit over this right now, but maybe we're blowing this out of proportion. I mean, maybe if a developer absolutely had to, you know, maybe they would have to start charging more for their games overall, right? If they absolutely had to. Or maybe start charging more for DLC. Oh, speaking of which, I've also heard that at some point Unity, or some big shot at Unity, made a comment at one point, I don't know if it was months, years ago, whatever, basically saying that companies who don't charge, you know, uh, microtransactions are idiots, right? Of a statement of which they obviously backpedaled on really quick, unless they looked, guilty. But still, and not to mention the fact that a week prior to this 20 cent thing that they're thinking about imposing, they sold a lot of shares in their company. So again, I don't know what dire straits. I don't know if Unity's in some dire straits, if a bunch of people just hemorrhaged a bunch of money. I don't know. Maybe they blew it all on I don't know, hookers and blow. I don't know. But either way, if a company needs money, there's better ways to get the money they need. They could just be upfront with all these developers and say, hey, listen, we're kind of in financial straits right now. Would you mind helping us out? And, they say honesty is the best policy, right? But, of course, nobody wants to admit that they're failing or admit that they're in hot water, Again, I would say... Now, before I say anything more, or before anybody says anything more, I think Unity needs to be investigated. Maybe do an audit and see just where all this is coming from, right? It could very well be that maybe Unity, I don't know, maybe Unity has been evading taxes and they need to come up with revenue. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but again, if it's not greed, it's desperation. That's the motivation here. Alright, so you've heard me rant for the last 20 minutes or so. I do apologize. I wanted to play this game. But while I talked, but I don't know. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest. Tell you what, for being so patient with me and listening to my rant, I guess, I'm going to show you something that I just acquired fairly recently, actually. I got this while I was at work. I spent... There it is. A Royal Finish Blue Eyes White Dragon. You don't understand how hard it is to actually pull one of these. I didn't pull it, I actually crafted it, but, I was looking to make all three of my Blue Eyes, just shiny, like this one. Because, come on, it's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It should have a sheen to it, wouldn't you agree? So anyway, I thought, oh, I'll try for another, gloss finish. Nope. They awarded me with a Royal Finish. I was actually in a duel before I decided to end the session. When I was actually in a duel. Let's see what. Is it replays? Oh no, is this... Wait. Oh, those are saved replays, aren't they? Data? Oh, blast it. Maybe it's under Duel? Match history. Okay. Oh God, who did I fight? Not that one. Not that one. I think it was this one. It must have been this one. Anyway, this was the duel I was in just before I managed to pull the royal finish. I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but I thought it was pretty good. You know, I mean, it seemed like I had the duel in the bag, but I lost it. Honestly, I couldn't be mad at it, really. I'm actually quite pleased with the results myself. Oops. Okay, so turn 1, summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, bear in mind, I didn't know what kind of deck this guy had, if anything. Okay, so, fun fact, in the Blue Eyes Dragon deck that I'm using, I have Future Fusion in the deck, not specifically for Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I actually use it to target another... I usually use it to target my, Five-God Dragon, or Five-Headed Dragon, as it's now called, for the sole purpose of dumping materials necessary to get Blue Eyes to my hand. And, you know, if it should happen to be that this is still on the field after a set period of time, so be it. Now, let me pause this here. Must be special summon with the Fang Critias when monsters you control is targeted for an attack or by an opponent's card effect. Okay, see, my mistake was not using Burst Stream of Destruction right away. I mean, if I had used Burst Stream of Destruction on this turn, a subsequent turn I probably would have won the duel. Instead, I wasted a lot of life points, regrettably. Well, not only that, but somehow he keeps tributing my monsters, so... See, this happens to be a second, cylinder. I mean, I suppose if he hadn't top-decked cylinder, or if I was lucky enough to get, my other... Again, knowing that his hand was empty, I probably should have opted to remove one of the back row cards from play, honestly. Or banish them, as they're called now. Again, this would... Again, this would have been an excellent opportunity to use Burst Stream of Destruction. Well, not that I would really need to. So yeah, I had like 2 Jet Dragons, Blue Eyes Alternative, and a Blackluster Soldier. I'm going to stop here. Blazing Mirror Force. When an opponent monster declares attack, destroys many attack position monsters. Nope, that would not have been possible. Everybody's protected. And if you do take damage equal to half the combined original then inflict it. Yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked. And that's how I lost the duel. So I suppose if he had not have drawn another magic cylinder, I probably would have won this, but there you go. that was the duel I had earlier. So, all right. So let's just enjoy some actual live, well, semi-live duels, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should title this video something akin to the fact that I begin the video ranting. I mean, I know nobody really wants to. I'll probably just give it a unique title. I don't know. Okay, well this isn't. Oh, I still have cards of consonants in my. Thought I got rid of this. Not the worst. I can set this face down, and at least worst case scenario, if you know they destroy the back row, at least it will be in the grave, and I can use it to keep a dragon safe. If I'm unlucky, I could lose this right now. Okay, so he can use that to put it in the grave? Honestly, I need to probably draw one of my my White Stone of Legend or the White Stone of Ancients. Also, I gotta protect myself from Guardian Slime. It doesn't have any attack points, does it? No. It only gains attack points if... Yeah, I gotta be careful to not summon too much. The only thing I can do is... The only thing I can really do here is bluff. I mean, so far so good, right? Another one? Okay, well, can you at least advance the game state here? I think it might be over. You already have a sun god on the field. Okay. No. Okay, there we go. Yep. And point-to-point transfer, and I lost. come on. Why do you gotta... Come on, don't flex. Just end it. Nah. I'm finished. I don't mean to look like a weenie here, but I mean, if anything, I'm just being polite and as to not waste their time, you know. Also, is it just me, or is it like even easier to rank up now? I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm just curious. That's all. Huge gamble, but let's see. I mean, that's technically better than the swords, but still fragile, I guess. Not exactly happy with this play, but it's the best I can do. I mean, it's entirely possible he's probably got machines, right? At which point, I actually did put this in my deck. All the way at the bottom here. There we go. I have a Chimeratech Fortress, so... Okay, yeah. Well, I'd rather he waste that on... you know, a smaller back row than a larger one. Yeah, it must be even easier to rank up because, you know, I mean, like, you don't understand. In the previous seasons, I mean, playing the way I do, you know, I would have gotten floored by all the metas. And, I don't know, maybe I've mentioned this before, but, see, I don't hate meta decks, it's just that, you know, if I wanted to play a game where everybody used the same cards to beat over their opponent, you know, I probably would have rather have just played poker, you know? Because at least with poker, everybody's definitely using the same cards. Maybe not the same exact cards as, you know, everyone else at any given moment, but, you know, there is a chance that, you know, that the cards each player draws could potentially be good, you know? Have I ever seen that royal finish before? Let's see, unaffected by other cards' effects. Each time an opponent's monster activates its effect, place one wedge counter on that opponent's monster. Max 1. After that resolves. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter, take control of it. Once per turn during your end phase, you can destroy all monsters on the field that have a wedge counter. Okay, well, either way, this card being destroyed gets me a blue eyes, so I guess he's contemplating his options here. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he forgot Honest exists. I mean, in order for him to put a wedge counter on something, it has to be on the field, but if I send it to the grave or activate it from my hand, I don't think he can do that. I mean, it says it's unaffected by other cards' effects, but this effect affects my monster. True story, I actually, IRL, once owned a Ghost Rare Honest. No, I'm not kidding. I actually owned a Ghost Rare Honest at one point. I ended up... Oh, wow. The White Stone of Legend came into play here. You know, but yeah, I mean, I remember pulling it from a pack one time, and I looked at the card. I'm thinking, wait, did they forget to put the art on it? No, they didn't forget to put the art on it. It was just a rarity I've never seen before. I mean, the only card that looked like a solid color was this other card I once pulled called The Beginning of the End, in which was mostly black in color, but had an intricate design. Like, really difficult to see, but... You know, ended up trading my Ghost Rare Honest for a Arcanite... Arcane or Arcanite Magician. Kind of sucks about that Synchro monster. What was her name? Magical Exemplar or something? Basically, you dump a bunch of cards from your hand to add a bunch of spell counters on the field. I mean, they even made future cards that kind of joke about it, too, you know? They gave her the new title, Magical Something. No, really, that was the name of the card. Magical Something. Okay, let's see. Well, with this, I have to ditch a monster, so... Shoot. Well, what kind of cards are we dealing with? Subterrors? Well, tell you what. I'll activate the gold sarcophagus first. If he'll let me. There's hesitancy. There must be some kind of thing in his hand. Okay. What card would be best? Well, in case things go pear-shaped for me, it would probably be in my best interest to get the evenly matched. Hmm. Not exactly the best card to ditch, but especially if I have Poly in my hand, but I think this is probably the smarter play, because if this backfires, yep, if this backfires, I can at the very least summon my Maiden with Eyes of Blue to defend. Hey, that's cool. Raigeki. Raigeki. I remember a long time ago I bought this DVD, this Yu-Gi-Oh! DVD from, like, I think it was a Kmart at the time. I think it came with a card, I don't know, but it was basically, like, how to play the game. I mean, it had live action segments, but was voiced by Yugi and Joey. But like this DVD was basically showed how to duel in the old days, you know, where you know, back when card decks used to be like upwards of 80 cards, and the quote fusion deck was up to 30 cards. Not like what it is now. Yeah, I played this game back in the day. You know, I mean, I'm sorry to say that, you know, the card decks that I assemble are still kind of on the large size, unfortunately, but, you know, I'd like to think I came a long way since. I mean, for one thing, you know, I don't put cards in there just because they look cool. You know, I understand nowadays that they have to synergize, or whatever that word is. Yes, I'll activate this. Oh, I was gonna say, don't tell me you can negate that. Yo, let's floor him with my... This is the first time I've actually summoned my Ultra Shiny. Yeah, I called it an Ultra Shiny. What of it? What? Wait, you can actually just set the card again? And that is weak. Weak sauce. See now you're in trouble. See, I can just do this. I mean, not that it has any bearing on the duel, but you know, when I assemble a deck of cards, I try to put the best ones forward, because why not? They're digital cards anyway. They're not going to deteriorate from use. So, you know, I just like to put the shinies out there. That's all. I mean, they have no bearing on the duel, but yeah, the problem is I can only... See, my problem is that I can only use this to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. I can't use it to summon, like, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon or whatever. Alright, well, from the deck, then, I'll summon my, not as shiny, but still pretty brilliant Blue Eyes. You know, I'm surprised they didn't make a Green Eyes Yellow Dragon or a Yellow Eyes Green Dragon, you know, just as a spoof, you know. I mean, they could have made them Union monsters or something or other, you know. What I need is my ultimate fusion. Oh, what? Weak. I mean, thank you for returning that, but oh man, if I had my ultimate fusion, I'd be able to just if I had ultimate fusion, I would floor this guy right now. I'd say Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, burn everything down, and glow, everything would be burned down. Unfortunately, I have Skildrin on the field, so that card will increase the attack and defense and make them both equal to the combined original attack and defense of the cards, right? So this would become 3,000, so that wouldn't be advisable. This would be too powerful, that wouldn't be advisable. So that only leaves this face-down monster, then. I hate to do it, but wait, do I not get to choose where it's placed? Oh, don't tell me I have to... No, I should be able to choose where to place a card. Well, I think I lost this one. Card position manual. Yeah. This went pear-shaped. Failed. Alright, well, I know I've ranted too... Darn, I should have been playing this game while ranting, but I don't know. Wouldn't have made for a very good video. I mean, I had a college professor once who told me nobody likes a whiner. I mean, true story. I mean, she asked us to write us... This was one of our, you know, human services directors. You know, one of the 3 major Ds that are responsible for teaching students, what have you. You know. Oh, this isn't good. Anyway, she told us to write a story about ourselves, right? You know, our history, you know, like, I think it was like an autobiography, if I'm using the word correctly. Anyway, I told her my story, and and honestly, yeah, in retrospect, it was kind of a whine fest. I was kind of, I used it as the opportunity to, you know, moan about complain about my life and how pear shape it was going, and I think she actually docked me a point or two for that. Basically citing nobody likes a whiner. And but also at the same time, I think about that, and I think to myself, okay, well, what if my life was a Mary Sue? What if everything in my life was going just as according to plan? No bumps, no rough road. I mean, would I get docked for being a Mary Sue? I mean, come on. I mean, an autobiography is what it is, right? People generally read autobiographies for the same reason people write them. Someone wants to bitch and someone's willing to listen. That's just a fact of life. And if people don't have time, if people don't have time to listen, they won't listen. That's all. Oh, don't tell me this is one of those duelists that are just going to sit here and hog all the time. I mean, it's just as well. I mean, I got some food in the microwave that is probably done cooling right now, so don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just taking the opportunity to eat. I think this is a different garlic chicken than the one I'm familiar with. So there's this guy from the European lands. His name's TGS Anime, I guess. Anyway, he's actually trying to do a Blue Eyes deck right now this month, trying to see if he can get it into Master Rank or whatever. I don't know if I'm sure a guy like him probably noticed that it's easier to rank up nowadays than before. I don't know if this was Konami's attempt to combat, the use of metas, because like I said, I mean, meta decks are fine, but there's also people who want to duel for fun, right? And it's not that guys like me can't, go to the casual duel and just duel for fun, right? But the thing is, if you want to earn rewards, if you want to earn points and not have to pay a dime on gems out of pocket, you gotta play in ranked. That's just the way it is. I mean, I guess it's fairly balanced, I guess. I mean, the more, once you, I don't know if it just goes up to platinum. If I reach platinum 4, for example, I don't know if doing poorly will rank me down to platinum 5. I mean, I don't know. What I do know is that the intro to, when they started adding more tiers to the list, gold just seems kind of, weak by comparison. Gold's top dog until you introduce platinum, and then suddenly bronze is going to be left out in the dust. Nobody wants to be a bronze duelist. Alright, screw it. I'm just gonna surrender this. Or not. I win. Time limit win. He fell asleep or some such. Another thing I've noticed is that some duelists, like, they generally make a self-destruct deck. Like, they purposely add, like, the worst cards that would just end their duel quickly. Because, you know, if you surrender a duel, you don't get anything whatsoever. But at least if you play a duel and end it that way, you still lose the duel, but at least you get points for it, right? I mean, I don't know how I feel about winning that way. You know, because you could have a really good hand and, you know, it's just not as exciting to, you know, beat an opponent that's already beaten himself, right? Also, can I say that, I mean, I understand Heads is, you know, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but, you know, they could add, I think Konami could stand to add, like, a Tails to the coin, you know, instead of just having it be blank. Oh, this is bad. I do not know whatsoever what's in what deck he's using. At best, the only thing I can do is just... I mean, I could normal summon that and get a card to my hand, but that would still put me at a disadvantage. Begrudgingly, I'm going to have to set this in defense mode, protect my points. I suppose I could activate Duel Tower now and... Yeah, well, the problem is that this is going... If I use this in, say, Duel Tower, it's going to impact me. I'm just going to play Duel Tower. Oh, by the way, Duel Tower, nice field spell. Very reminiscent of Battle City. And it's got a self-destruct feature. I suppose if I had drawn Mirror Force, this would be a different... Oh, okay. You're gonna go for it, huh? Alright, alright. What do you want to... Nah. What do you want to special summon? Or are you going to special summon? Oh, you dunce. No, not yet. Alright. Banish the field. Banish this guy. God, lame ass. Alright, well, wasted a turn, I guess. Oh, you son of a... No, there's nothing I can do. Oh, Gravekeepers, okay. Alright, let's see. Gravekeepers, what? You serious? Do I have to add the apostrophe? Okay. Alright, Hmm. Alright. We'll just declare Gravekeeper Supernaturalist. If he activates that effect at any time, he gets to lose half his life points. Come on, I need something good here. Not the greatest, but it would protect my points at least. Yeah, see, with Necro Valley on the field, I can't use Ultimate Fusion. Oh, here we go. You guys are going to be in for a real treat here. Assuming I can even pull it off. Mirror Force Dragon. Nope. Day. Well, alright. Good old Mirror Force Dragon. Protecting me from things. And he surrendered to my brilliance. Good old Mirror Force Dragon. You know, I'm surprised they don't just arbitrarily add more dragons to the, you know, Waking the Dragons line. You know, like, I don't know. Just throwing the idea out there, maybe, I don't know, Wall of Light Dragon, or, I don't know. Oh, he already surrendered. Excellent. Okay, I have to know. That person that just surrendered, I want to see what they were using. Oh, this is one of those, yeah. It's one of those, you know, in the first turn you can just arbitrarily summon, this one dragon and, you know, and then subsequently summon this guy and just inflict damage equal to... Once per turn, when you gain life points, except during the damage step, you can make this card gain an equal amount of attack. Also inflict that much damage to your opponent. See, I'm surprised this card wasn't banned, honestly, in this game. Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, what if I top decked... What if I had top decked Skill Drain? I would ruin his day. I mean, in this deck that I'm using, I once had King Tiger Wagyu in the deck, right? And, you know, I remember vividly, this guy was summoning his Numeron cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, right? The cards that gain, like, that keep doubling their attack points or whatever. Anyway, he summons all 4 of these monsters, and, you know, my King Tiger's like, okay, anything that's under 1400 is automatically destroyed. He summons them all, and they're all destroyed, and he's like, you know, and he just instantly flatlined and just gave up. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so what's the best maneuver here? Well, this has to be used on a monster, unfortunately, so... I guess the best thing to do would be to use 1 for 1. I hate to do it, but get rid of this guy. I could special summon her. Then I can activate this guy's effect. Use it on her. Chain her effect to him, which will let me summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon this turn. Of course, I'm going to summon the shinier one. Blue Eyes Jet Dragon would probably be the best choice. But then again, I could summon this and be able to fusion. Or be able to ritual. Screw it. Just give me the defense. Knowing my luck, things would probably go pear-shaped anyway. Yeah, good old Royal Finish Blue Eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and toggle this to... Go ahead and toggle my trap card to off. Oops. Okay, well, if this card's going to be returned to my hand anyway... I may as well add another card. Yeah, why not? Add another card and put it out onto the field. That's a normal spell. I hate to say it, I might have lost this. Well, this is unfortunate. I have no one to blame but myself, really. Oh, I don't know. Let's see, let's duel again here. I think someone might be trapped in the room next to me. Give me a second here. Sorry, I usually close the door when I do recordings and such, and sometimes the cats like to get into the room. Either that or they're on the other side of the door, maybe. Yeah, I'm just gonna set this face down. I don't have any idea what they're up to. Alright, give me a second here. I'm gonna check on something. What are you doing? Come here. Come on. Come on. Get out of here. Psst. Come on. Come on. What are you doing in there? You don't belong over there. You're going to knock stuff over. Yeah. Oh, shit. No. Sorry about that. Okay, so what the hell am I dealing with? C Stealth 2. Okay, I think this is one of those, there can only be only one, or... Oh shit, my blue eyes are non-effect monsters. Okay, so I'll have to prevent myself from summoning Blue Eyes the White Dragon. Hold on, can I... Damn, it's only if it's normal summoned. Shoot. Alright, Alright. I suppose goes in match might... Or rival... I don't know. Let's just say goes in match. Alright, if you activate goes in match, you're in trouble. And I'll just go ahead and place this face down. And because I need to deal damage, banish a card. Sure. Let's just banish one of these. I suppose I could technically activate Duel Tower and just destroy everything. Oh, is this going to be Numeron? No? It's Pacifist. Or Paphos, the Phantasm City. Yeah, this is probably one of those, this is pretty tempting. No. No. Well, this is unfortunate. I have no one to blame but myself. This is painful. I don't have much of a choice. Yeah, I lost this one. Alright, alright. One more. And then I gotta focus on eating. Otherwise the food's gonna get really cold at this point. You know, it's funny, I thought I was in love with garlic chicken, but I guess not. Oh. Sky Strikers, huh? Alright, so what cards did I lose? Would have probably helped, to be sure, but... Alright, go ahead and... Yeah, go ahead and activate Manager the 10,000 Hands. Get this guy. And we'll do a 1-for-1. Send you to the grave. And we'll bring this guy out. Or her out. Go ahead and just play swords, why not? So I recently saw the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer, or something akin to it. I'm surprised they didn't get the voice actor for the old voice actor for Vincent. You know, the one who played Tom on Toonami. You know, like he did in Dirge of Cerberus. I mean, don't get me wrong, Matt Mercer is a pretty good choice, solid. But, you know, just kind of weird that a Ganon is in Final Fantasy, and, you know, it's not even Smash Brothers, you know? Weird. That's all I can say. Okay, so what are we doing here? Negate that monster's effects until the end of this turn. What the hell is this now? If you control... Okay, well, your bid to negate my monster's effect, I'm afraid to say, is a little misguided there, since I can just chain the effect. Let's make this official. Behold my royal finish, Blue Eyes White Dragon. You know, if I really wanted to, next turn, I could just get a Chaos form, link these into Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, and special summon, and I can literally banish this Blue Eyes from the grave to summon my other Blackluster Soldier, which is fine because I actually have Necroface coming. I actually do have a Necroface coming to my hand, so no big whoop. Oh, you... You know, that's perfectly fine. I just need my Blue Eyes in the grave, that's all. Because you see, when I use Chaos form, I can just when I use Chaos form, I can simply banish it. Oh, I think he can. Ow. Wow, you're no fun. Oh, how many turns was it since I used this? Oh, that's painful. Don't know if he can activate that during my turn. Go back to the deck. I lost. Well, I tried. That's all I can really say. Well, anyway, that's all time I have to duel this time around. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I apologize for spending the first 20 minutes ranting about this whole Unity thing. I only do it because I'm a gamer, and a lot of the games I played seem to be running on Unity, and it would really suck to have these games just pulled or just stop working outright out of protest. I mean, as it is right now, I mean, even the auto industry seems to be striking right now. So, I mean, I'm just going to say it. I'm not saying people aren't worth the money that they think they're worth. I mean, self-worth is great, but not all of us can pitch a fit, right? I mean, we all can't throw a temper tantrum. Someone's got to be able to be the adult and, either step in and alleviate the problem or give in the demands, It'd be like like I said, we can't all throw a temper tantrum, Something's got to give here, But anyway, I apologize for ranting earlier. Thanks for watching, and please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos. Your comments as well as your support mean a lot. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.